Hey guys, this is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. Hey, today we're going to talk about my favorite subject, which is sales. All right, we got a great subject for ourselves today, and it's really important, so let's go ahead and dive right on into it. A little fist bump to say howdy, okay? Our subject for today is selling and lying. Yeah, I said it, selling and lying. Okay, let's be honest here, guys. You know, I've been in sales in one form of capacity since the 80s, and that's a long time. And one of the things that I've seen people do is give what they call lying. They've twisted facts, they've made up information, they weren't forthright with the customer, and I'm not going to never say I ain't never done the wrong thing. I have in my past made some mistakes, and I've probably overemphasized stuff, puffed up stuff, and I guess you call it lying. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't want to lose my soul over a few dollars. And there's one thing I've learned in my selling career is try and always be honest. Because, see, people will call you on your stuff. We got this thing called Google and these search engines where they can search information. And if they come across some information and you lie to them, holy cow, man, there ain't nothing worse than somebody saying, you're a liar. Or maybe they call your boss, say, he's a liar, she's a liar. They ain't real good people. I want to cancel my whatever. And if you are a manipulator, okay, here's the thing. It will catch up with you. Selling and lying, it really doesn't go hand in hand. Now, back in the dinosaur days when people used to take advantage of people because they could get away with it, you know, it's too easy for people to follow you today. They got these things called cell phones. They got all this information, a little portable computer. And if you lie to somebody, they'll remember that. They may not tell a lot of people that they bought some cool stuff from you, but if you lied to them, they're going to tell everybody. And lies will follow you from career to career. Because once you get known as what they call a liar, people don't want to be around you. They'll be afraid of you, and companies just don't want to hire you. Because, see, there's a lot of things that happen in the real world where people get caught up in trying to make money, and sometimes twisting the facts makes a bad decision. It really does. Making bad decisions and lying, it's just a really bad way to end up. And I'll tell you what, like I said, I try to be honest in my videos. I tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, and the warts and all. Because I'll tell you everything about selling that people don't talk about. And selling and lying, it doesn't work, guys. I'm just telling you from my own personal experience. I remember when I was a younger salesperson and I didn't know a fact about a particular subject, and a customer thought they were getting something, and I had lied to them. I didn't tell them the whole truth. And I'm going to tell you what, I can still remember that day. I can still remember how it made me feel when my boss says, well, Gary, why did you lie? You could have just told them you didn't know. I wanted that money, honey. I wanted that commission. And lying is just not a good thing to do. You know, even if you feel like, hey, you need to maybe overemphasize something, maybe puff up something, tell them that, hey, this has something, and it don't. It's lying. A white lie is the same thing as a lie. Oh, it's just a white lie. Baloney. A lie is a lie is a lie. From the hay, a pit of hay, okay? And the reason why I'm going over this, because I look around all the time and I see people in sales in different aspects, you know, trying to do the right thing. But then I see those manipulators out there that are twisting facts and understandings and taking advantage of people and taking their money, honey. And that's a terrible thing because, see, I don't know about you, but I don't like nobody to lie to me. I don't like my kid to lie to me. I don't like nobody in my realm telling me stories that ain't true. And if you are a person who is lying, it will come back to you. And what I'm saying is it may not happen right then and there, but karma is a bee. I mean, karma can come back and bite you on the booty, raw, raw, and I'm going to get you. Now, see, selling and lying, the reason why I brought this up is because, see, the other day, I had this situation where I was talking to a customer, and a little demon in my mind said, you don't got to tell them the whole truth. You don't got to tell them all the information. Just leave that part out. I couldn't do it. My mind, my conscience, it bothers me. A lie is a lie. Even if you leave something out, it's fraud. If you are taking advantage of customers and committing fraud, you'll get in trouble. I mean, you may not right then and there, but they got jails full of people who lied. I mean, they got a bunch of them, white-collar people, and if you're a blue-collar worker selling something, you can get in trouble. And if you commit fraud and you lie to a customer, it will come back and it'll bite you. You know, I like everything there is to do with sales. And like I said, I tell you some stuff that people don't talk about because we got to be real careful. Because if you're a brand new salesperson, you're coming in to the field of selling, you want to be an honest person. If you don't know something, tell the customer, I don't know. And just say, listen, I'll write that information down, but I know it's real important to you, so I'll get back with you on that particular subject. Now, if they keep saying, I got to have that information, get that information. Ask for some help. Get what they call a TO, a team opportunity. If you're working in if you're working in a mall or a store and you're selling retail and stuff like that, you can get what they call a TO. And then that's the way somebody can come behind you who might be a little bit more knowledgeable and give them the answer that they're looking for. But lying to the customer, it will come back to you. Don't think about it. If you have anybody in your life who's lied to you, how did it make you feel? How does it feel when somebody takes advantage of you or tells you something that ain't true? It kind of makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you feel as though you can't trust them. And salespeople, we've got a very bad rap because there have been a lot of manipulators and people who've stretched the truth and people who've puffed up information and people who lied. Okay, lying ain't going to work for you, baby. See my little smiley face? I want to smile. I don't want to have to. If I tell a story, if I lie, let's just say this for instance. If I lie about something, and then I hadn't seen this customer in a month or two, and then they ask me questions. Don't you remember when you told me and you said that this would do what, and you said this would do that, and you go, I did. See, what happens is if you're a liar, what happens is you become you get worse and worse, and then you always got to backtrack and remember all the stuff that you're saying. So if you don't lie, you don't got nothing to worry about it. Hey, listen, sometimes you might lose some sales because you're an honest salesperson. I'm telling you, it's true. Sometimes, you know, people will say, no, I don't want to buy that because you told them something that they didn't want to hear. And what they didn't want to hear was the truth. Because, see, a lot of times it's also an avenue for the customer to escape. It might be a reason for them to say, no, I don't want to get that because, you know, it doesn't have this or that. But if you lie to the customer, holy cow, you got Facebook, you got Instagram, you got all these different avenues where people can post information about you and then they'll ruin your career. And the lying is just not a good way of life. Like I told you, when I was younger, you know, I used to look at people like a dollar bill, and I didn't really care as much about, you know, people thinking about me. But I don't want to be running into somebody in a restaurant or at the mall or in a store, or maybe I go from one sales job to another, and I'm working at another company, and these people say, yeah, I remember you. You lied to me. I ain't buying nothing from this company. They hire liars. You don't want that to happen. And I've seen it. I've seen people that I've worked with, and I knew they were kind of, you know, maybe they didn't tell the truth. And I felt bad because I used to say, you know, it ain't my business what people do, but it really is. I am my brother's keeper, and I am my sister's keeper. And I don't want you to get out there and start lying and manipulating and taking advantage of people, because see, it comes back on my company. It comes back on my business. And I've seen people over the phone, when they were talking to customers, they would look right at the information and they would lie just straight through their teeth like it meant nothing. Holy cow. That ain't good. If you can lie with a straight face and it don't affect you and it don't bother you, you got something wrong with you. You need to ask God to come into your heart and change that. Because I'm going to tell you what, I used to, when I first got into sales many, many years ago, I would leave stuff out. I would only say things. And if they asked me a question and then I didn't know the answer, or if I was not sure if it had something, I'd kind of skirt it and act like I didn't hear what they said and kept on trying to sell. And then, see, that's another thing called fraud. That's another way to manipulate people. Because, see, when people have valid concerns, or if they need information to make a good buying decision, and if you leave stuff out, or if you just gloss over it, or you lie to them, it's just bad business. Because, see, you know, eventually you might be working for them people. Because I tell all my customers, where they say, I know you got to go do stuff. And then I look at them in the eye and said, no, I work for you now. So in this regard, you got my beckoning call. You can call me anytime. I give them my cell phone number. You may not be that kind of salesperson who feels comfortable with them, but I want customers to have selfies with me, pictures, so that way they can trust me. Because see, trust is such a huge thing. See, people will buy from people they trust. And if they don't trust you, they will not buy from you. Now, if you rip them off, you take advantage of them, you steal from them, because that's what you're doing when you're lying to them, is stealing from them. They will never forget that. And it puts a little burn on their heart. And you know what? You don't want to make somebody hate salespeople. You want the salespeople to be appreciated. Because, see, you may not sell that person that time, but if you lie to them, the next salesperson who might come in there, because we are our brothers and sisters in selling, they may not have a chance to sell something because you did something that was really bad. You lied to them. You told them the wrong thing. And your company, if they find out that you're lying, they'll fire your butt. They will tell you, hey, man, what you doing? You ain't supposed to. We'll give you a warning. Don't you do it again. But if you do it again and they find out about it, because you don't want to lose your soul over no money, honey. I don't even want to lose my soul, period. So, I'm not your preacher. I'm kind of like a little teacher, and I like to share stuff in my real life, things that I've been a part of, things that I've seen in my selling career. Because I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to tell you stuff that like most people don't talk about. When you go to work for a lot of companies, they'll give you the rah, give you some basic fundamentals. And then what I do is I like to break it down, because there's a lot of things in selling. I got a whole bunch of videos. So if you get a chance, check them out. Give me a little thumbs up and share the stuff. Because see, being an honest salesperson, I can look in the mirror. I can say, Gary, you did the best you could today. You didn't take advantage of nobody. Because, see, it's real easy as a salesperson to lie. It really, really is, guys. And I ain't trying to get on you. I ain't your mama, your daddy. I'm just being honest with you. See my little smiley face? Don't let it be a fake smile. Let it be a happy smile. Because, see, you don't want to win a contest or take advantage of other people in your company and stuff, because they're looking at you as being something special. And when you're lying to customers, you're ruining it. So don't ruin it for all of us. Don't lie. Don't ruin it for yourself. Because, see, kids are watching you. Your coworkers are watching you. And if there's some unscrupulous people in your lives that are teaching you to be manipulators and to lie to customers, you need to run. I mean, run, Forrest, run. Get the heck out of Dodge. Because, see, liars, my goodness. And another thing, there are sometimes customers, I've heard the expression, buyers are liars, because they won't tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth, because maybe they ain't been convinced that what you got to sell them is worth their money, honey. And if you're trying to lie to your customers, and if they lie back to you and so forth, customers, they can do that. They can say all kinds of things why they don't want to get stuff, because they don't want to offend you or hurt your feelings or say no. So they'll lie. But see, that doesn't mean we have to reciprocate. We don't have to do that. We don't have to lie. A good salesperson will learn the basics, the fundamentals. They got their little selling toolbox. They can overcome objections, ask good, pertinent questions to qualify the customer, to help the customer be able to invest in stuff. And if you can break it down fit it in their budget without lying or manipulating, you got yourself a good sale. You should feel real good. But if you're out there lying and you getting these sales because you're manipulating people, shame on you. Because I've been there and I've done that, guys. Years and years ago, I didn't have much of a soul. I looked at money, I looked at people, I thought, damn, I don't need these people, I need this money. But every time it seemed like when I manipulated or I lied, if I said something that was wrong, it ate me up and it always came back to me and it burned me. Don't be that guy. Don't be that lady. I told you I'd tell you about myself, the warts and all. I'm an honest salesperson because I want to make money, but I don't want to do it on the back of hurting somebody else, because that would be a lie. To hurt people is a terrible thing. So go out there and sell something. My name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. We just had a very simple conversation about selling and lying. It don't work. So go out there and sell something. But if you ain't asking for the order, you ain't selling. Selling and lying. That's a pretty good subject. So make sure that when you feel like you might want to puff up something or tell them a little bit of that little white lie, don't do it. Don't do it. We're better than that. We're salespeople. We want to earn our money, not take people's money. We want to earn it. So go out there and be an honest salesperson, and selling and lying, they don't go together. So go out there and sell something and be honest, man. I'm being honest. Lying and selling don't work. So go out there and sell something. All right.